Right now we are in Plymouth, Massachusetts, which for those who don't know is the first settlement established by the Pilgrims in 1620. There are many historical locations in Plymouth, and I figured rather than make a bunch of short videos on each location, why not make one big video with many locations? So let's wander around America's hometown and go check out some pretty cool historical locations in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
My name is Ben Laurence.
When the Pilgrims left England for the New World, they set sail aboard the Mayflower, and usually the Mayflower is docked right here, but as you can see, there's no Mayflower anywhere to be seen, and that's because from what I've heard, it's being refurbished for the town's 400th anniversary. Over at the little ticket booth area for the Mayflower, they actually have some information about where the Mayflower is, and it's actually in Mystic, Connecticut, so if you want to go check out the Mayflower, go down there or wait till 2019, and then it's going to be back in Plymouth. If you're wondering what these pieces of wood are inside the case, these are actual pieces of the damaged wood that they are repairing on the Mayflower. That's the reason why it's no longer in Plymouth Harbor. It's being repaired because all the wood is rotting away. After their long journey across the Atlantic Ocean, the Pilgrims are said to have landed on Plymouth Rock. There's really no evidence to prove that this was the actual rock where they landed. So basically, it's just an ordinary...
Ben, we gotta go. The rock's fake.
What do you mean the rock's fake?
I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's a lie.
Son of a... Inside this structure, down in this pit, is where you'll find the Plymouth Rock. That's where everyone says the Pilgrims landed. They say they stepped on that rock. Like I said, I don't know how true that is, but there's the Plymouth Rock that people come from all over to see. Right there. As you can see, the rock says 1620 right there on the top, symbolizing the year the Pilgrims arrived in Plymouth, Massachusetts. It's crazy to think that people from all over the world come to see the Plymouth Rock, and it is literally just a rock. It's used as a symbol for the Pilgrims. No Pilgrim actually stepped on that rock. Well, maybe the Pilgrim stepped on the rock, but it has no historical significance at all. It just blows my mind. People like worship that rock, and it's literally just a rock. Just a short walk away from the Plymouth Rock is a statue of Plymouth's first governor, William Bradford. There he is, embodied in stone. And there's some information about him. You can't really see because of the glare of the sun, but there's some information about William Bradford. Right behind the area where the rock is displayed is a giant hill known as Cole's Hill, and at the top of Cole's Hill is a statue of the Wampanoag sachem named Usamequin. Here's the statue of Usamequin, commonly referred to as Massasoit, but from my understanding, Massasoit is more of a title than a name. It'd be like going up to the president and just calling him Mr. President, like not knowing his name is actually Donald Trump. So the Pilgrims thought his name was Massasoit, but in reality, his name was Usamequin.
According to my research, if you rub the great sachem's foot, you get good luck. So we're gonna come do that.
Gotta rub it for good luck. Here, we'll go up and rub it. As you can see, there are some rub marks from people rubbing his foot, so hopefully we get some good luck. One interesting fact about Cole's Hill is that back in the 1920s, they found a bunch of bones buried in the hill, and they put all the bones inside this giant sarcophagus. What's crazy is the bones actually used to be housed above Plymouth Rock.
Did we just find a dead person on Cole's Hill? Buried?
Did we just find a dead person?
On each side of the monument, there are engravings honoring those who died during the first winter here in Plymouth. A lot of the Pilgrims were not buried on Cole's Hill. Many of them were buried here on Burial Hill, as the name states. It's a cemetery where the Pilgrims are buried. This is also the place where they built their first fort. This old beat up sign gives you a little bit of history all about Burial Hill. If you want to pause it and can make out the words, feel free to pause and read a little bit more about Burial Hill. As we make our way to the top of the hill, we come across this cool map that shows Cape Cod. It actually points out that we're right there. And this is the Plymouth Bay area. And then the tip of Cape Cod is way down here. The map looks like it's been graffitied over the years, but you can still kind of make out that that's Cape Cod. Tresh, is that an abandoned mausoleum, found Pilgrim dead body, gone William Bradford experiment? Abandoned Pilgrim mausoleum. There it is, you heard it here first, folks. Abandoned Pilgrim mausoleum, found William Bradford, gone first Thanksgiving. I don't know. Let's continue on up Burial Hill. Many of the people buried in this cemetery are not actual Pilgrims that came over on the Mayflower, but there are a few. Most notably is the grave of William Bradford. We saw his statue earlier in the video, and now we are seeing his final resting place This is the grave of William Bradford, the first governor in the New World. Here's a little blurb about him on this memorial. Coming to places like this really gets you thinking. 400 years ago, this man came over here to the New World because he wanted to be free. And here I am 400 years later, being free, doing what I want, all because people like him made a difference in the world. I guess I'm getting pretty like deep right now, but all because of a few people, we're able to do whatever we want today. We're able to go on adventures, show cool things, make YouTube videos, go basically do whatever we want. All because pilgrims like William Bradford came over here, and then, you know, you had stuff like the American Revolution, and you still have people fighting for our country till this day, trying to make a difference. I don't know, that was really deep. Usually stuff we don't do on the channel, but once I saw this, like I don't know, it kind of hit me. Anyways, let's continue on wandering around Plymouth. Just down the hill from Burial Hill is the Jenny Grist Mill. Hey, that rhymed. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. I can make a rhyme anytime. Yeah, I know, that was really corny. Anyways, let's get into the history of this place. The mill was built by a colonist named John Jenny to grind up corn to make cornmeal. This is a recreation of the original mill and was built in the 1970s, whereas the original mill was built in 1636. You can get an inside peek if we come right over here. This will actually show us the inside of the grist mill. Since I don't really want to pay for a tour, we can stick the camera right up to the glass and hopefully we can get a peek. Oh yeah, you can see some of the cornmeal sitting right up there. You can't see much, but you can sort of see inside the grist mill right there. You can get up close and personal with the mill if we come down to this like observation looking area. We can get real close to the mill, see how it works. All this water floods right in there, turns the big water wheel, and then inside that building is where they grind up the corn to make the cornmeal. They also have a little shop down here where you can actually buy the cornmeal made inside the grist mill. You can even pay a fee to take a tour of the grist mill as well as some more historical Plymouth locations. Well, as you can see, the sun's going down, so that is just about all the time we have today to check out these cool historical locations in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Thank you so much for joining us as we went and checked out some historical locations in Plymouth, Massachusetts. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. And one more super cool fun fact for you. This bridge that I'm standing on right now was used in the movie Osmosis Jones. And if you want to see the Osmosis Jones filming locations, make sure to click right up there in the corner. And if you want to see more adventures like this one, then click the subscribe button. It's free and you can stay up to date with all of our future adventures. Right now we are in Plymouth, Massachusetts, which for those who don't know, I don't even know what it is. Oh, I just sunk in the mud. So instead of making a bunch of short little videos on each location, when the pilgrims began their journey, when the pilgrims began their journey to the New World, I was gonna say they were aboard the Mayflower. Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock.
John Stamos stuffed right here.
Governor John Stamos.
And he picked that up and put it right there.
He picked it up and stuck it in his butt.
That was two pipe things.
Lois Lane.
John Stamos
I don't even know what to say.
Will Bradford, or whatever his name is.
Bill
Shatner.
Bailey.
Will Shatner and whatever.
And John Stamos right here. Plymouth Rock. 100% accurate history with Ben Laurence.
Abe Lincoln or something, I don't even know.
100% accurate history is lit! There's no Mayflower because from what I've heard, it's being refurbished for the town's 40th anniversary.
40th? The town's only
Yep,
40 years old?
Plymouth, accurate history with youtube.com/Ben Laurence. You heard it here first, folks. 40 years old. Backstage exploring at the Plymouth, I was going to say plantation, but it's not the plantation.
I mean bench.
Backstage parkour, exploring backstage. Oh, nailed it. Got him. Nailed it. Look at this. Parkour.
Yeah, real convenient. You have no money on you.
We got the moldy coin. I feel, no, I want to keep this kind of.
Ew, no.
No, it's nasty. There, we got 16 minutes. How long is that going to last us?
16
15
minutes.
minutes.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Wait a minute.
We need more. Do you have any more quarters?
No, I have nothing. That's why I
you.
told you to pay.
I got a dollar bill.
$100 bill, yo.
I got.
You don't have any quarters?
No,
I got-
you just took all the money I had.
I got 5 different pins cards and a Regal Cinemas gift card.
Yo, that's a
Here, I'll try this.
What are you doing?
Fuck off.
It doesn't fit.
Alright, we'll just get the card.
Oh, we're down to 15.
Oh,
We're wasting time.
Fuck, we just wasted a minute. It's so unfortunate. So is the fact that my battery's dead. If we get 50 likes on this video, Stanley said he'd silly salmon right into the grist mill. So make sure you smash the like button so that Stanley will silly salmon right into the water by the grist mill. If we get 100 likes on this video,
I'm gonna flip and send it into this pond. Hit a little silly salmon, if you know what I mean.
silly salmon in that pond for 100 likes.
Hell yeah.
All right, slap that thumbs up button. We want to see Stanley do some silly salmon action. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. I really, really appreciate it. I know this video wasn't super exciting like our other adventures, but I'm actually saving the excitement for next week's video. We're gonna go explore the Plymouth plantation. So if you want to see that video, make sure to click the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you get notifications when we drop the new video. And while you're at it, click one of the links that popped up around my face. They lead to some pretty cool things, and you can support the channel by clicking at least one of those links. All right. I'll see you next week for another adventure. Wah! Buddy's about to fall in. He's about to fall in. Should we go push him? Should we go push him? Let's push him. 50 likes. We're gonna push.